friends. I'm your host, Helen Keeney, and I'm in my favorite place around food. I'm so glad you're joining me this morning. And I love it when I bring you my favorite items on huge price breaks, and that's what we're doing today. Starting out with the very popular Philips Air Fryer with the rapid air technology and the recipe book. Ordinarily, it's $249.95. Today, we are doing it at $199.95, $50 off. The shipping and handling is our treat. Customer pick with 903 reviews on hsn.com. Wow. We've got 3 color choices, red, white, or black, but we're gonna get cooking, and we're gonna welcome our special guest, Stephanie Roberts, who is, you know, you're not really a chef, you're a mom of 75 kids.
That's right, I'm 75, oh my gosh, really? Yes. Are they multiplying?
Yeah, well, she has a brand new blended family, kind of like a Brady Bunch situation.
Exactly,
so,
a lot of cooking.
But not really professional chefs, so this is so easy really for anybody.
This is for the home chef, that's
right.
for sure. People who need to get dinner on the table, but
yes.
you want to feed your family in a healthy way. But here's the thing, as healthy as we try to be, this is what you want. You want chicken fingers and you want French fries, and that's what the kids are asking for, and that is what sometimes you just crave. The crunch is what I call it. Okay, so look at these fries. They are golden brown. They are crunchy all over the outside and hot and piping in the inside, just like you want them. What if I told you that everything you see here, the chicken, the fries, all done with no oil? So here's the deal with the Philips Air Fryer. You can get your foods with the crispy crunchiness that you crave, and you can do it with no added oil. So when you look up at the fat and calorie savings by not cooking these foods in oil, it is absolutely amazing. Now, I know it sounds too good to be true, but this technology brought exclusively to us by Philips makes it happen. It is called rapid air technology, and let me explain how it works. It's so simple inside the air fryer. There's a heating element and a fan, and the hot air basically circulates around the food. The hot air does the crisping so that you don't have to have the oil to do the crisping. Let the hot air do the work. So when you look at it that simply, it's like, which has less fat and calories? Hot air or oil?
Right.
Well, obviously that would be the hot air. So with that circulating hot air, the rapid air technology, and the special shape of the pan, we get the crispy and crunchiness that we crave. And it's not just fried foods. Once you start working with your air fryer, you can use it for absolutely anything. So I've taken some onions, some peppers, some fajita vegetables, just a little bit of seasoning. I use maybe a spritz of oil at best on those, and I go ahead and put them in the air fryer. Now think about if I make fajitas on the stove. First of all, you have to stand there and saute and babysit and make sure they don't stick. Second of all, I probably use, what, 4-6 tablespoons of oil? Not the case here. Then I'm putting my skirt steak on top. This has become one of my go-to meals at home. It's so easy. Again, little seasoning on the skirt steak. Do you notice what's not in here? Oil. I'm not pouring a bunch of oil in here like I would if I did it on the stovetop. The reason, the natural fats and juices are going to release from this skirt steak onto those vegetables and do the caramelizing, and the air will do the cooking. And all of this happens right inside the Philips air fryer. I set my timer. You have time-controlled cooking. Great little noise when it's done, and most importantly to me, the heat shuts off. So rather than having to stand there and saute and do things like that, all I have to do is walk away once I'm done cooking. I absolutely love that. It takes care of itself. I can control my temperature. For meats, I leave it on high, and if all that seems like a lot to remember, there's a great little sticker right here on the side of the machine that kind of gives you suggested cooking temps and times. This really, Helen, is designed to make cooking as easy as possible and healthy.
It also comes with a recipe book, and one of my favorite things to make in my air fryer are chicken wings.
Yes.
And Chef Eric taught me how to do it. You take the chicken wings, you put them in the air fryer, you push go. So I do a little salt and pepper. Sometimes I do some, you know,
and is
sauce.
that easy enough for you?
It's easy enough for me.
Okay, just check it.
And they come out fantastic every single time. And I also want to tell you that if you own the Philips air fryer, because again, it's a customer pick with over 900, I know I keep saying 200, over 900 reviews on hsn.com, give us a call. go. There are the chicken wings, by the way, looking amazing. So give us a call if you own this, or stay on the line after you're ordering it. We would love to hear from you. You know, because it's so easy, so incredibly popular. And in the summer, when you don't want to heat up the whole house, this is also perfect for, you know, your RV, or, you know, that condo that you're renting by the beach. You can throw this in the, you know, your back of your car and bring it with you.
Yep.
It's just,
it's portable, it's versatile.
And the chicken wings, you're not adding any fat or oil, and that is like a delicious low-carb dinner right there.
Exactly, and if you crave chicken wings like many of us do, look at that golden brown color on these. They are absolutely gorgeous. And what I did was I just dressed them up with some sauce, but what you want, and the reason you fry chicken wings, is to get that crispy brown edge. You can get that crispy brown outer skin without frying. Right. These are air fried, so no oil, absolutely zero added. And as Helen said, you put them in the mesh basket and you push go. So you ought to be able to handle that. Now I hear you crunching over there, Helen, and I'm glad you are. Tell me about the French fries and chicken. Are you missing the oil?
No, not at all. As a matter of fact, one of my kind of cheats that I do is I go to the frozen food section of the grocery store, and they have these bags of French fries. And instead of like frying them in oil, I just open the bag, pour them in the air fryer, and again, push go and crunch. Can you hear that crunch? It is truly crunchy, crunchy, crunchy. And you know, a lot of us like our French fries different too, like well done or a little bit less, but you can customize it to how you like them.
You can absolutely control it. We left those a little crunchy because I know I like them a little crunchy. I know you do too. My kids like them lighter. Take a minute off the time. It's no big deal. Pretty much everything that we cook in the Philips air fryer comes down to this. 1 tablespoon or less of oil. This is it. No matter whether I cook fresh vegetables, whether I'm brushing a little bit of oil on my fajita vegetables or on my chicken wings, I'm always using a tablespoon or less. If I fry traditionally, I'm using this. So when you're making the decision to air fry, would you rather give your family a tablespoon of oil or an entire jug of oil? This sums it up for me, and every time I'm going this way because, of course, it is more healthy. All right, let's talk grilled cheese, because I know a few hosts here who have bought this just for the grilled cheese, and this recipe is in the recipe book that, of course, comes with your Philips air fryer. So when I make grilled cheese on the stovetop, what do? Butter, butter, butter the bread. I have to cheat and butter the pan usually in order to get it crispy enough to keep my family happy. When I make it in the Philips air fryer, I take a little olive oil and I brush the top of my bread lightly. I'm gonna turn it over. I'm gonna do the same thing to the other side. The other reason why grilled cheese can irritate me, honestly, when I'm cooking it on the stovetop, you have to stand there. Because if you don't stand there, one side gets too brown, the other side might be too light, and then I'm always trying to hide the dark side from the picky kid. When I serve it on the plate, the first thing my kids do when you hand them a sandwich is flip it over to see what I'm hiding. So the Philips air fryer has solved this problem. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this in the wire mesh basket. Well, the best thing about this is the circulating air, and I'll show you in just a minute how that's going to work. But as the air circulates around the food, it is even cooking. So that means both sides of my grilled cheese sandwich are going to be evenly cooked and crisped. For grilled cheese, I set my timer for 5 minutes. I like mine a little on the lighter side, so I'm gonna turn down my temperature just a bit. Remember, I love this. I'm not giving up time control. I'm not giving up temperature control. As a home cook, I still can control everything that happens in here. But now is the best part. We walk away, because this circulating hot air is going to take care of the even cooking. I don't have to stand there. I don't have to flip it, and we can move on and do something else. That circulating hot air is what makes the Philips air fryer different. This is called rapid air technology. It is patented by Philips. Philips is the original air fryer. You don't want any substitutes. You want this starfish pan where the air circulates evenly around the food. You want the heating element and the fan that gets that temperature up there to do the crisping without needing the oil, because you do want your food to be crisp. That's why we crave fried food to begin with. But what we don't want is the extra oil. Now, one thing I've learned since working with the Philips air fryer now for 3+ years is that the even heating creates the most amazing environment to melt cheese. Because I don't know about you, but I'm all about cheese, and this is unbelievably hot. So I'm gonna just let this drool all over so you can enjoy it. Look at this. This is amazing melted
Those
cheese.
are so good.
Oh, these are so good. So what these are is these are little rounds where I've got just a little bit of crunch on the outside. This also works great with mozzarella sticks. But what's happened on the inside, again, perfectly browned and just the right amount of crisp, but inside the melted cheese. Because if you know anything about melting cheese, it takes a very even heat, or it ends up cloppy on one side, or you know, too brown on the other.
That's really true.
This is a great example to me of how even the heating is, which really, really is a bonus as a cook. So if I have to recommend something you buy from the freezer and pop into the air fryer, these mozzarella rounds are it. And mozzarella sticks also work amazingly well.
Right, and you know, you can make breakfast, lunch, and dinner in the air fryer. It's so versatile, but today's the day to get it, and I'm gonna tell you why. Because you're not only getting $50 off the price, you're also getting free shipping and handling, and we also are doing 5 flex payment. This is the only airing of the day. That means it's the only time it's gonna be on television is right here, right now. And I will tell you that if you're saying, you know what, I really wanna watch my fat and calories, but let's face it, I'm not gonna give up the foods I love. The air fryer is really the answer, and I can tell you that my air fryer, I use it all the time. Chicken wings are my favorite things to make, but I've made so many other things. I've made sweet potato fries. They're delicious in the air fryer. As if you want to, you know, do a stir fry, it's just it's so delicious and so incredibly easy, and you don't have to babysit it.
Exactly. It makes cooking stress-free, and on a Monday, as we're starting another busy week of work and school and kids' activities, those are very hot.
Those are really hot, yeah.
Getting dinner on the table and keeping it healthy is a huge priority for me. So a couple of things going on right now. I want to go ahead and start my omelet. One of the options with the Philips air fryer is to pick up these inserts that give you more options for cooking. So this is our baking insert. I put some eggs, some peppers, and you know what? Cheap. Buy this stuff pre-cut. Buy the Trinity. Then all you do is dump in some egg, dump in a little pre-cut veggie, throw it in the air fryer, and you are good to go. But what I like about this is on a busy Monday morning, if I'm going to make an omelet for the kids, you have to stand there. You have to lift the edge. You have to let the egg drain under. You have to flip. Not with the air fryer. 10 minutes on the timer. I'm going to turn that down to about 320 because eggs are a little more delicate, of course, than my meat. And I walk away. I can go walk the dog, get the kids dressed, herd everybody together, sit them down at the table, and I'm feeding a protein-based breakfast to my family without having to make a lot of effort. I love it.
Okay, and if you're interested in this, remember, the time to pick it up is when we have it on air. I know it's on hsn.com sometimes, but we have it on air. We do big specials. This is the only airing of the day because we have very few of them. And we've got all 3 colors. We've got black, we've got white, we've got red. We've got $50 off plus free shipping and handling. So with that, you're saving another $15. So it's $65 off the regular price, $65 savings. Any major credit card, $39.99 to get home. Get the air fryer home. 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. We're including the recipe book. And, you know, you can cheat like I do. Go to the frozen fruit section. Get those bags of tater tots are really good in the air fryer, aren't they, Stephanie?
They are wonderful. Yes. And why do you want to fry a tater tot again?
Right.
Well, because you want it crispy. I know why. You put them in the oven, they stick on one side, they're mushy on the top. This is the even heating that makes it crispy all over. Pizza bagels, a go-to in my family. I've got 4 teenage boys. All they do is eat. One of my favorite things to say is go get something from the freezer and put it in the air fryer. 5 minutes. I don't want them heating up the oven constantly. I don't want that energy wasted. I don't want that heat in my house. The air fryer solves the problem. It's quicker, it's more energy efficient, and the taste of a crunch of your pizza is phenomenal. It's great for reheating leftovers, by the way, too. Same concept, re-crisping.
Now, the other way to reheat it is put it in the microwave. Have you ever reheated a pizza in the microwave where it tastes like cardboard? The bread is not made to be reheated in the microwave, but the air fryer, it's going to be crispy in the bottom, the cheese is going to be melted, and then it's like it's a fresh baked piece of pizza. I mean, that's a great point.
Day 2, honestly, pizza is amazing. All right, before we move on to exactly what's coming home to you, I want to show you one of my other favorite go-to weeknight dinners. So it's Monday, right? You need to go to the grocery probably after the weekend. You're working all day, you're busy. Stop by and grab some shrimp or really any kind of shellfish or quick seafood works. Some asparagus, some tomatoes. We toss this in a little key lime juice, a little seasoning, a little cilantro, put it right into the air fryer for 10 minutes. And look, dinner for 4 comes out. I love the fact that I can do these quick, easy, healthy meals. And especially this time of year, I'm utilizing the fresh vegetables, the seafood that's readily available, really at this point in time in life, at most any store.
How many minutes did you say that was?
10 minutes. 10 minutes. 10 minutes to fresh shrimp, fresh asparagus, fresh tomatoes, toss it in a little key lime juice, and you are good to go. It is one of my favorite dinners, so healthy. The colors are vibrant. And as we get into the summertime season, you know, we're looking for ways to cut corners in terms of cooking. You don't want to spend a lot of time in the kitchen in the summer. I get it. I'm not a griller. I don't like to be outside dealing with the grill. Nothing I can't do in the air fryer that I can do on the grill.
And we've got an extra book here.
We do.
So if again, it comes with a recipe book, but I just want to let you know that we've got from Philips air fryer. We have this healthy, simple, delicious, simple, you know, kind of recipes. So if you want to add this to your order, you can talk to your representative. And 150 recipes. Just item numbers at the bottom of the screen. So I just wanted to show this once during the presentation. 150 recipes, and it's made for the Philips air fryer, just to let you know.
Yeah, it's an absolutely wonderful book. But coming with the offer is a full color recipe book with things like the wings, the grilled cheese, lots of great ideas in it. And you're also getting a subscription to MealEasy. So let me mention that. MealEasy is actually an online community that gives you access to hundreds of recipes. There's a specific online community just for air fryers, a whole bunch of recipes where people write in and say, well, this is what I do and this is what I do. I absolutely love this, and this is almost a $90 value. So we are thrilled to include that today. Okay, so when your air fryer comes home, 2 pieces, and that's all you have to worry about. A wire mesh basket, and this is how the heat circulates around the food. It is all non-stick. It wipes right out, and if you want to pop it in the dishwasher, you can. The other piece is the baking tray. You can see that patented starfish design on the bottom. Again, all non-stick. I usually just use a paper towel and wipe mine out. It is that easy. I let my kids both use it and clean it without supervision. That's how easy this is to deal with. Again, if you want to, you can pop it in the dishwasher. But there's no little pieces, there's no confusing moving parts. This is it. I love the way it fits right on the countertop. It's got a very contemporary look to it. Philips is wonderful. They've been making, you know, groundbreaking, high quality electronics for over 100 years, and this really has just that sleek, sophisticated look. More than 1 million sold worldwide. We've sold more than 80,000 right here at HSN.
And on HSN.com, there's 900 reviews that make this a customer pick. 903 to be exact. So again, 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. If you're thinking about getting the Philips air fryer, this is the only airing of the day. It's the only time it's going to be on. So why should you get it today? $65 off. So $50 off the price, $15 off by free shipping and handling. You put those 2 together, it's $55, something like $54.95. But I would love to hear from you if you own this item.
And look at this.
Yeah, give us a call. We, you know, or any of the items in our kitchen hour, or stay on the line after you order. But oh, look at those meatballs.
Let's talk about capacity. Look at the amount of meatballs I am pulling out of here. I utilized the rack here, which actually comes with a shish kebab option too. This is another thing that you can pick up in addition
but look at
to
those
the air fryer.
Am I allowed to eat these?
Yeah, you may dig right in.
Oh,
so this is another one of my
Gorgeous.
favorite weeknight cheats. Can you tell that quick dinners are what I'm all about at this point?
How many minutes are you going to cook meatballs in this?
10 minutes.
10 minutes.
Here's the cheat. You can buy these frozen. They make some very good frozen meatballs. Sometimes I'll buy the turkey ones. But if you check at your butcher, I bet they make these fresh. We found these pre-made, ready to go in our butcher section. So all we had to do was carry them home, cook them for 10 minutes. By the time these cook, you boil some water for pasta, and you've got a great dinner on the table for both pasta and protein. Now, here's the other thing. Look what I'm pouring off the meatballs.
Ooh, what is that?
So that's the fat and grease coming right out of that meat. So if I were to cook these on the stovetop, number one, I'd have to cook them in oil to get them crunchy, right? So I'd be adding oil. And number two, everything that that you see poured off here would be cooking back into the meatballs. So not only am I not adding any oil, I am reducing the fat I'm intaking because I'm able to pour it off. It drains out of the mesh basket and into the bottom of the pan.
By the way,
I love this savings.
I just want to tell you, I'm eating the meatballs. I want to tell you what I like about them. They're crunchy on the outside, moist and delicious on the inside. They're not like, I've made homemade meatballs, and when you try to keep them round in your frying pan, sometimes they get all different shapes. They're all perfectly round. They're absolutely delicious. They're crispy like you've deep fried them.
Are they dry?
No, they're not. They're moist and delicious on the inside and crispy on the outside. So they really are the perfect way to cook the meatballs. And then you can, again, put them in the sauce, and you can, cook them in the sauce a little longer, but so good.
Okay, so I want to show you a couple other quick things before we're going to go back and check on what we started cooking at the beginning of our presentation. Another great weeknight dinner. Buy the pre-cut broccoli and cauliflower. Toss a little seasoning on it. 10 minutes for veggies. Add salmon, another 10 minutes on top. And again, you've done very little hands-on cooking, but look at that gorgeous flaky salmon right out of the air fryer. This is where I tell you I don't like to grill. So what I like to do is utilize my air fryer. And it's one pot cooking, if you will. I've got the vegetables and the salmon going at the same time. I didn't have to turn on my oven, and yet I have an amazing dinner. Okay, so if we're gonna save all these calories while we don't fry, we can bake, we can have dessert. Look at the lava cake here. Oh my, yep, that is heaven on earth.
Wow.
Okay, so we're utilizing the baking pan option. When you go on to buy your air fryer, you'll notice that Philips offers a baking pan, a shish kebab rack, and also a grill pan, and what we call a variety pan. None of these are must-haves for your air fryer. You can do tons and tons of things as is, but it's really a great way to expand your cooking. Let's tell you one more time about rapid air technology, because I do want you to understand what is happening inside your Philips air fryer. You've got a heating element and a fan, and as a result, the air does all the crisping. You don't need oil to get hot, crispy food. You don't need to submerge your food in the oil to get that crisp you crave. You can do it all just by letting the hot air circulate. That is the beauty of rapid air technology, and I love that it is helping us eliminate that much more fat and oil in our diet.
Final minute, by the way, in the only presentation of the day. This is the only time. Right now, we're gonna have it in final minute, $50 off the price, $15.95 saving because it's free shipping and handling, $39.99. Any major credit card, we're gonna send it right home to your house. We have a limited number. You love it, made it a customer pick with over 900 reviews on hsn.com, and boy does that sandwich look ooey gooey delicious.
Oh my goodness, look at that golden brown color. I can never ever stop being amazed at how wonderful it is. You may steal a piece. The cheese is evenly melted. The color of the sandwich is gorgeous. It's got that crunch. I'm gonna play with it just for a minute so you can see that. It's got that crunch that I want out of grilled cheese, and I did it without even standing here. We also started fajitas just as we began talking, and I want to show you the color of the steak, because I know when we talk about the air fryer, steak probably doesn't come to mind, and that is okay. Look at that gorgeous color we've got all across the top of our skirt steak. It is caramelized.
The sandwich is so good.
It is got the extra crunch. There go my vegetables, and I'm gonna slice this skirt steak up, and in 10 minutes without even standing here, I've got fajitas for dinner, and they're healthy.
Thank you so much, Stephanie. You're back at 10 a.m.?
I'm back at 7 a.m.
7 a.m., I'm sorry.
7 a.m.
I'm eating the grilled cheese, it's so good.